Zammad 7 is going to drop MySQL and MariaDB. If you're still running Zammad with one of these two database servers, it's time to switch it to PostgreSQL. Beside the obligatory backup, you should bring coffee and patience along. Let's dive into it. There are a few things you may want to keep in mind. Some of them depend on the size of your instance, support volume and of course the downtime you are willing to have. In general, if you have your attachments within your database right now, consider moving these to your file system. This will allow you to migrate drastically faster. To do so, you can run the following commands in a Rails console. Setting that storage provider file to ensure all new files will be written to the file system. Store file move db file to move existing attachments from the database to the file system. This may take some time to complete. It's safe to do this during business hours. This conversion requires at least Zammad 5.3. All shown commands later on will not work on older versions. This sample installation is based on a Debian 12 package installation. You also might want to put Zammad into maintenance mode. This will end all non-administrator sessions. To do so, either open Zammad UI or run settings set maintenance_mode true. Last but not least, you may want to disable your current active channels. This will reduce the risk of data loss in case you notice the conversion wasn't successful. This is unlikely, but still a possibility. You can do this in a Rails console by running channel where active true IDs to get all IDs of the active channels. Copy the return into an editor for later. Now run channel where ID with the ID array you just copied, update active false. Now your channels are inactive. In order to actually migrate, you'll need a PostgreSQL server. You can host it on another machine or locally if you want. We are going with the local variant in this scenario. Install PostgreSQL and PostgreSQL-contrib and enable and start PostgreSQL. Note that CentOS-based systems require you to run PostgreSQL-setup initdb before starting the database server. Switch to the Postgres user, for example by using zoo-postgres if you're logged in with an evaluated system user already. Now run create user Zammad followed by createdb Zammad -O Zammad. This will create the user Zammad and a database for said user as its owner within PostgreSQL. To actually allow Zammad to use login credentials, now open the Postgres console by running psql. In this console type alter user Zammad with password, your password. Choose a fairly secure password for the database user. Now install pgloader. This tool will actually do the conversion part for us. Execute Zammad run rake zammaddb pgloader tmp pgloader -file. Substitute Zammad run if you're on a source code installation. Now edit tmp pgloader -file with an editor of your choice. Navigate to the line starting with into and adjust pgsql_password with your earlier created password. Should you have chosen a different user and database name, adjust the first Zammad with your actual database username and the Zammad behind the slash with the actual database name. When you're done, save the file. At this point, stop Zammad and create a snapshot or backup of your current data. To test if the configuration is correct and what would happen, you can run pgloader --dry -run tmp pgloader -file. Now to actually migrate your database data to PostgreSQL, run pgloader -verbose tmp pgloader -file and grab a coffee. When the transfer has finished, you may see warnings about truncated identifiers. Unless you see errors, everything should be good to go. As a last step, we will need to tell Zammad where to find its database. To do so, open opt Zammad config database YAML with an editor of your choice. Adjust adapter to PostgreSQL and the password to the chosen password you've chosen earlier. Should database and user not fit, adjust these values as well. After saving these changes, open a Rails console by running Zammad run Rails C. Substitute Zammad run if you're not using a package installation. If the Rails console can successfully connect, you can execute ticket count and user count to see if data is actually available. If you have data, now clear the cache with Rails cache clear. Now is a good moment to disable and stop your old MariaDB server, if Zammad was the only application that used it. If you have other applications using MariaDB, skip this step. Run systemctl disable MariaDB --now to disable and stop the service. After some days, you can consider removing the service by using apt-purge MariaDB on Debian and Ubuntu-based systems. To continue working with Zammad, also make sure to start it by running systemctl start Zammad. Open a Rails console and run channelware id with the ID array you copied, update active true to reactivate your communication channels. With this, you have migrated your MariaDB installation to a PostgreSQL 1. Default installations of PostgreSQL usually do not fit Zammad requirements. By default, Zammad takes up to 50 connections per process it spawns. Without tuning, this means you have 4 processes taking 200 connections. Now with additional tunings, you will have to adjust even more. To address this, open the configuration of your PostgreSQL server. For Debian and Ubuntu versions, this usually is etc PostgreSQL, PostgreSQL version, main, PostgreSQL conf. CentOS and SUSE usually have this file within var lib pgsql data PostgreSQL conf. You can manually adjust that file or use sed to quickly adjust these settings. Run sed -i max_connections, see max_connections equals 2000 on etc PostgreSQL 15 main PostgreSQL conf to raise the maximum allowed connections to your database to 2000. If you expect higher loads of your instance, you can also adjust the caching configuration of your database server by executing the following commands. Please keep in mind that this also might require a little bit more system memory. After addressing these changes, make sure to restart PostgreSQL and Zammad by running systemctl restart PostgreSQL Zammad. With this, you're ready for the upcoming Zammad 7 release. If this video helped, please consider liking and subscribe to my channel. This helps to see me if I should make more content on these topics. Until next time, take care.